Welcome back to History in Minutes. And today we've got one of the three most insane heists in history, and how they almost got away with it. Forget Hollywood. Real life has written crazier scripts than any Ocean's movie ever could. These three heists. They were bold, brilliant, and borderline stupid. But they actually happened. From a bunch of Brits hijacking a train in the middle of the night, to an art museum in Boston getting scammed by guys in Halloween cop outfits, and $1 billion cyber attack that was almost perfect. Almost. Welcome to the wild world of real heists. Let's get into it. And the first heist we will be diving to is the Great Train Robbery in 1963. Let's rewind to 1963, and England was sipping tea, listening to the Beatles. And meanwhile, a group of 15 men were planning one of the most daring robberies in UK history. A Royal Mail train carrying millions of pounds in old, used banknotes, money being transported between banks. Bruce Reynolds, the brains of the operation, wasn't some random thug. He was meticulous, organized, and obsessed with pulling off something huge. And what caught his eye? Think of it like an armored truck, but on rails, in the middle of nowhere. So how did they stop it? No gloves. Not with bombs. Not with guns. With a red signal light. Yeah, these guys literally rigged a fake railway signal to turn red and make the train stop on cue. Like something out of Looney Tunes, but it worked. Once the train halted, the crew overpowered the driver and uncoupled the first two cars, the ones carrying the loot. Not bad for a bunch of guys with no internet, no GPS, and definitely no TikTok. They drove the cash-filled carriages to a bridge near their hideout, a rented farmhouse called Leatherslade Farm. They had a whole system, teams for loading the money, counting it, guarding the house. They were clockwork. They got away with 2.6 million British pounds, worth more than $70 million today. But here's where things go full clown mode. Instead of laying low, they played Monopoly. Real Monopoly. With real money. And that's what brought them down. Fingerprints everywhere. Police found the board game, matched prints, and boom, one by one, the crew started falling. Most of them were caught and served long sentences. But the legend lived on. Britain wasn't sure if they were villains or heroes. Some people even called them gentlemen criminals. Yeah, real gentlemen. Except for the train conductor they beat up. That part, not classy. Moving on, our next unbelievable heist takes us to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist happened in the 1990s. Fast forward to 1990 Boston, 1:24 a.m. Ring the buzzer at one of America's most prestigious art museums, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. This isn't just any museum. It's a Venetian palace-inspired marvel, filled to the brim with masterpieces collected by its eccentric founder, Isabella Stewart Gardner, who stipulated that the collection must forever remain exactly as she arranged it. To this day, it remains the largest art theft in history. Despite an ongoing, relentless investigation spanning decades, still has the empty frames hanging on the walls in their original places. A gaping wound in the heart of the collection, not as a joke or an oversight, but as a stark, perpetual reminder of what was lost. It's a haunting, we were robbed and still don't know by who memorial. There have been no arrests, no paintings recovered. It's like the paintings were swallowed by the earth itself. And no clear, definitive suspects publicly identified. The guards, young, undertrained, probably bored out of their minds on their overnight shift. Two men, dressed convincingly as police officers. They tell the two security guards, Richard Abath and Randy Heston, they're responding to a disturbance, and perhaps a little intimidated by what looked like genuine police authority. Just let them in. Big mistake. They quickly overpower the guards, tying them up securely with duct tape to pipes in the basement. Within minutes, the officers are no longer playing cops. No alarms are triggered. No interference. It's not a smash and grab. What follows is an astonishing 90-minute looting spree. It's two men calmly and methodically walking through a priceless art collection, almost like they're window shopping at a flea market. They steal 13 pieces of art, carefully cutting canvases from their frames and unceremoniously removing sculptures and other artifacts. It's the sheer randomness of their selection. They left behind other pieces arguably more valuable or iconic. Experts speculate they didn't even truly know what they were. Stealing perhaps just grabbing items that were easy to remove or looked particularly expensive in their frames. It was classic chaos energy, seemingly driven more by opportunity than connoisseurship. The concert, one of only 34 known works by the Dutch master and considered one of the most valuable missing paintings in the world. Among the stolen treasures are masterpieces by some of history's greatest artists. Vermeer's Rembrandt's The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, his only seascape, and 5 Degas drawings, including a Raphael self-portrait and a Titian masterpiece. Gone. Vanished without a trace. What's even crazier, the total estimated value of the stolen art is over $500 million, and even deathbed confessions have been made. Yet still nothing concrete has led to the return of the art. The FBI thinks the heist was done by a local criminal crew, maybe connected to the mob. Tips from informants have surfaced and vanished, leaning towards the theory that the heist was carried out by a local criminal crew. And the best part? There's 10 million rewards still waiting for information leading directly to the recovery of the stolen works. So, if you happen to have a painting tucked away in your attic that looks a little Vermeer-ish, or perhaps resembles a Dutch seascape from the 17th century, you might want to make a call. Just imagine the story you'd have. Alright, you ready for the final heist? The last heist we're going to be diving to is the Bangladesh bank cyber heist in 2016. Now let's talk about a heist where the thieves didn't wear masks, they didn't carry bags, they didn't even step foot in the country. This was 21st century theft, all code, no fingerprints. In February 2016, hackers broke into the computer systems of the Bangladesh Central Bank. Now these weren't amateurs. This was a sophisticated, months-long cyber attack. They studied the system, learned how the internal processes worked, and waited for the perfect moment. And when the moment came, they sent dozens of fake transfer requests to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York attempting to move $1 billion out of the Bangladesh account. Now they did it in small increments under $10 million each, so as not to trigger any alarms. They also used the SWIFT network. Think of it like a text message, basically the secure messaging system that banks use to authorize transactions. The messages looked legit. The bank clerks didn't blink, and the Fed started processing them. 5 transactions went through. That's $81 million sent to accounts in the Philippines. From there it was cleaned through casinos, gambling houses, and fake shell companies, and then it was gone forever. So what stopped the rest of the heist? Not security systems, not high-tech firewalls. It was a typo. Yup, the hackers misspelled the word foundation as foundation on one of their requests. That triggered a red flag and made the Fed pause everything. That one spelling mistake saved the world from watching a full billion vanish. Talk about a near miss. Now we don't know for sure who did it. Investigators believe it may be linked to North Korea's Lazarus Group, one of the most dangerous state-sponsored hacking units. But no arrests, no accountability. Just $81 million that vanished into the casino ether. As for Bangladesh, they had to learn the hard way that cybersecurity isn't optional when you're literally holding a nation's money. And there you have it. 3 heists, 3 completely different methods: brute force, fake cops, and high-level hacking. One thing they all have in common? They almost worked. It doesn't matter if you're in a farmhouse with a trainload of cash, strolling through a museum in disguise, or hacking a central bank from halfway across the world. Crime may not pay forever, but for a few brief, shining moments, it pays very well. Now tell me, which heist blew your mind the most? Drop a comment below. Would you rather be the guy who fakes a red light, the fake cop in sunglasses, or the nerdy hacker in a hoodie? I'm curious. And remember, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps us a lot. Subscribe to our channel for more stories like these. Share this with a friend. You know, you want to send a friend a video that'll make them say, "What the what?" This is your host. Stay curious, stay safe, and maybe lock your doors tonight. See you next time.